mind, then Tom Hanks is that big kid, and I can't really think of Tom Hanks in my mind without seeing Josh. Maybe I see Forrest Gump as well at times, but I see him playing a 30-year-old Josh.
I think your opinion of Tom Hanks depends on what film you might have seen him in first, isn't it? And certainly if you're going to watch a Tom Hanks film when you're a kid, you're more often than not going to watch either Big or Splash.
Splash, yes.
And you can argue that both the lead characters in those films have similar traits or characteristics. But they're both brilliant roles, well scripted, well written. But I don't know if anyone, I was trying to think last night after watching it, if anyone could have done Big in the way Tom Hanks did it.
Right, so I got a couple of points on this. I'll jump in now because there's some facts around who potentially was going to play older Josh, let's put it that way. And Tom Hanks was always first choice, but at the time he was too busy. So they consider Kevin Costner, Warren Beatty, and Dennis Quaid. All of them said no. Okay. John Travolta was really interested in playing it, but the studio didn't want John Travolta. Gary Busey auditioned, but Penny Marshall, the director, didn't want him. And Robert De Niro said yes, but his price tag was £6 million to do the film.
Okay.
Considering it had a budget of 18 million, it's it was a third of the film, so it was highly unlikely.
I'm not saying you couldn't have done the film with some of those actors, because a lot of those actors you listed are very good to excellent. But I don't see the film the same way with those people involved. No. Certainly with someone like Robert De Niro, I don't think he would have had the charm.
No, I think his seriousness would have come through and his intense. How could he play a 30-year-old with a 13-year-old head? I don't get it either. I think that was more of a case of Robert De Niro wanted to do it to show that his acting sort of spectrum.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I mean, you try and think of someone now trying to do that role. I mean, there's so many body swap films out there, and they're all been.
Well, again, another interesting point. At that particular time, what year was this? 88. 88. There was loads of those films out, and again, looking up at the film, there's an interesting fact that there was 5 body swap films out that particular year. And you're talking vice versa?
Vice versa.
Vice versa, sorry, yeah. I loved that film growing up. That's with Judge Reinhardt, is it?
Yeah, and the kid from the Wonder Years.
But there was quite a few of those type of films out, and for me, I would always go back to Big. And
I'm not saying the success of Big is solely on Tom Hanks's shoulders. I'm sure we'll get into a few other aspects, but I do think the charm of the film lies with him.
Yeah,
and I don't want to disregard the screenplay. I think the screenplay is excellent, and obviously the directing by Penny Marshall. She certainly brings a warmth to the film. But I don't think we can understand. I don't think it's ever been understated how important Tom Hanks is to Big, is it?
Yeah. And I